On Friday, July 25, 2025, Emmet County deputies were actively searching for a suspect involved in a disturbing incident just one day before a violent attack at a Walmart in Traverse City, Michigan. This is the case of Bradford Gall, a man whose prior contact with local authorities left officials scrambling for answers just hours before tragedy struck. Bradford Gall, 42, of Half Dawn, Michigan, was no stranger to law enforcement. On Thursday, July 24th, just 2 days before the brutal Walmart stabbing, Gall had been involved into separate interactions with officers from the Petoskey Department of Public Safety. These encounters were reportedly related to loitering violations in the city. The officers who encountered Gall described him as calm, with no signs of aggression or threatening behavior. In fact, he had made no comments that would have prompted any immediate concern. Despite his previous contact with the law, there was no legal reason to detain him. However, the situation was far from ordinary. Authorities knew that Gall had been living in homelessness, an individual struggling without a stable address. Concerned for his well-being, the Petoskey Police Department quickly acted, petitioning the Emmet County Probate Court to place Gall in protective custody for a psychological evaluation. On Friday morning, the court issued the order, which would have allowed authorities to take Gall into protective custody. But there was a problem. Despite efforts by officers from both the Petoskey Police and the Emmet County Sheriff's Office, Gall could not be located. The search that ensued would prove critical, as just hours later, he would be at the center of a horrific attack. The morning of Saturday, July 26, 2025, started like any other at the Traverse City Walmart. Shoppers moved in and out of the store, but what no one could have anticipated was the chaos that would soon erupt. Bradford Gall, a man who had been actively sought by law enforcement, entered the Walmart with a folding knife in hand. At a Sunday press conference, Sheriff Mike Shee of the Grand Traverse County Sheriff's Office confirmed that Gall attacked 11 individuals inside the Walmart, sending them to local hospitals with various injuries. Authorities believe Gall used a 3.5-inch folding knife, a weapon that was initially described as small but proved deadly in the hands of someone with a clear intent to harm. The victims, who ranged in age and background, had no idea that their routine trip to the store would turn into a scene of terror. The authorities, now with the threat unfolding in real time, have charged Gall with multiple serious crimes, including terrorism and 11 counts of assault with intent to murder. Gill's attack was random, violent, and shocking. But what makes this situation even more complex is the fact that law enforcement had been searching for him just the day before. When deputies received the court order for Gill's protective custody on Friday, they didn't waste time. The Emmet County Sheriff's Office coordinated with the Petoskey Police Department, making diligent efforts to track down Gall before the attack could occur. They knew that Gall had left Emmet County after Thursday's interactions, but they hoped he was still somewhere within their jurisdiction. Patrols were ramped up, and deputies worked into the evening, attempting to locate Gall, but it was to no avail. Despite their best efforts, Gall had already left the area before the protective custody order had been executed. Little did they know, he was on his way to Traverse City, where his violent actions would soon unfold. The order to bring Gall in was clear, but, tragically, timing was everything. Gall had vanished, and his next stop would bring the violence to an unsuspecting public. Gill's history paints a picture of a man with a history of violent behavior. According to Sheriff Mike Shee, Gall had a track record of assaultive incidents, which included multiple arrests and convictions for controlled substance violations. Though he had faced numerous charges over the years, his recent encounters with authorities had raised serious concerns about his mental health and his potential for violence. Despite these concerns, the chain of events leading to the attack of Walmart seemed almost too coincidental. Gill's prior contacts with police on Thursday, his sudden disappearance, and his brutal attack just a day later. The question now remains, how could law enforcement have handled this situation differently? Was there a more timely intervention that could have prevented this violent act? Could Gilly's prior history of assaults have been a more significant warning sign? These are questions the authorities, the victims, and the public will continue to grapple with in the aftermath of this horrifying attack. As the victims recover and the investigation continues, the tragedy that unfolded at the Traverse City Walmart serves as a stark reminder of the complexities that law enforcement faces in dealing with individuals who may pose a danger, but whose behaviors are not immediately actionable. Bradford Gilly's case is one of many that prompts reflection on how mental health issues, homelessness, and violent tendencies intersect, creating an environment ripe for tragedy. With the full scope of the investigation still unfolding, the Grand Traverse County Sheriff's Office continues its efforts to piece together the events leading up to the attack. Bradford Gilly's future now hangs in the balance as he faces multiple felony charges that could change his life and the lives of those he has affected forever. Thank you for joining us today as we cover this tragic event. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to stay up to date on this and other breaking news stories. We'll continue to follow this case and bring you the latest updates. If you found this video informative, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from Dynamic Trends. Also, don't forget to check out the link in the description below for 10 amazing Amazon products you won't want to miss. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.